Hello, everyone, and welcome back. It's Kasim and John with Solutions 8, and we're going to talk to you about targeting. I'm excited. John, take it away.
Yep, this strategy is called the yes, but actually no. That's the title of the strategy.
I'm going to name the video something a little more SEO friendly.
Yeah, I think so, because this just doesn't make sense, the title. But yeah, it's really cool. So we often have clients that don't know you can actually include a target and exclude parts of that target at the same time. It seems a little obvious that you could do that, but it comes up so often that I want to make a video about it.
You want to explain
So
what you mean by target demographic?
a targeted area for your ads to be shown. So you can choose in Google to say, I want the entire United States, but I don't want Arizona. And a lot of times what I'll see is people will just start to add it state by state and not realize that you can actually you can exclude certain areas, or you can have radiuses over specific areas that already are targeting that. I'm just going to kind of walk through like some of the best practices of targeting. And I wanted to share with you that there's more leverage than you may know inside of Google. So I'm just go ahead and share my screen. And this is going to be, there we go. All right, can you see it okay?
Yep, looking at it.
Awesome. So what you're going to see on the screen, this is going to be our campaign as well. And right now we target all of the United States, which is inclusion of Alaska and Hawaii. But I want to kind of share with you some more clever ways that you can get creative with your targeting. So for example, we are in North Scottsdale. And right now you can see obviously that we have all of the United States. But what I can also do is say, I want the United States, but I also want Scottsdale, Arizona. And I'm going to include that as my target. And when I click save, you can see that we have kind of two overlapping targets. You have the United States, but you also have Scottsdale. And why would you do both? Well, one of the reasons is since we're a digital agency, it doesn't matter too much. But if you're a area that has a localized marketing, or if you have something like a brick and mortar location that also sells online, you can actually include two targets in the same exact spot. And the reason why you would do this is because you can have what they call a bid adjustment by the location. So as I'm looking at this as a map on a whole, I said, well, you know what, United States is important to me, but I also want people to know that I'm close by. And I actually would want to take priority of those people that are close by. I want to pay more if they're near me, because I have a walk-in location, but people that find me, they know that I'm down the street will also probably be more apt to buy online, because if they have any issues, they can just walk in right into my store, whatever the reason may be. But that's just a good example. You can actually say for the United States, I'd like to pay $17 cost per click. But if you're in Scottsdale, I'll actually pay, 20% more. So, or 30% more, or 70% more, whatever you want. And what this essentially means is that the United States will pay the normal rate. But if you're in Scottsdale, I'll pay 50% more. So my cost per click would go from $17 to $24, for example. And I'd pay more for that because I'm prioritizing my localized traffic. But we also have something else here in Scottsdale. In Scottsdale, we actually have an area that is I think it's Apache reservation. What's this area over here? I forget exactly what.
It was a Navajo reservation.
Navajo. So sometimes in the Navajo reservation, it's just not compatible with your product. For example, if you're a solar company, the kind of discounts that you would get on reservation and off reservation would be much different. So maybe you say, for this campaign, I want all of Scottsdale, but that one section of Scottsdale, I don't want to have the Navajo reservation. So you can actually go into here and then you can actually add an excluded area. Oh, there we go. So exclude of, I think I'm just going to say 85260. I know that's not right, but I'm going to say that's an exclude. And what's cool about this is you can actually hit save as well. So now what you've done is you've overlapped 3 different targeting areas. You said, I want all of the United States. Let me just blow this up here. I want all of the United States. I will pay a lot more for Scottsdale, but I won't pay anything for the people that are in this, let's say Indian reservation, or if we have something that may be a highly industrial area and we're looking for only B2C, whatever it may be. But the overlapping targets will give you really a lot of choices you can do. It's not just and/or, not just target the state or don't target the state, or target the radius or don't. You can say, I want all of it. I'll pay more for this specific area, but I also don't want that area inside of it. And so what's really cool about this is you can start to see how that affects things. You can also start to take this nationwide and say, you know what, give me every major metropolitan area and I'll pay 10% more if you're in a big city, or I'll pay 30% more if you're in a rural location. So using these advanced techniques. What's that?
You know what this reminds me of is I think it was called the polygon targeting that we used in Facebook. We had a client that wanted to target Twitter specifically, Twitter employees.
Mm-hmm.
It was a financial planner, and he had a really specific pitch. And so we went and we found the Twitter building, and then we drew exclusion maps or territories around it. And it had varying degrees of efficacy, but I feel like you could do the exact same thing here, like down to that level of granularity.
Yeah, a lot of people will say like geofencing, and geofencing can mean two things, in my opinion, when people just use it both ways. One thing where it's like as soon as they enter this area, their phone goes off. We usually have to have some sort of third-party app or whatever it is that's installed. This is kind of like geofencing, where you're kind of fencing off a specific area and say, I'll pay more for that, I pay less for that, or I won't pay anything at all if it comes from there. So it's kind of like geofencing in Google Ads. Now, it's not going to be as, oh man, they've crossed that street there. On Bell Road, once they cross that, now they're going to get my ads. There is about, a 50% margin of error. So it's like, in and around and pretty close by. So it's not going to be 100% accurate, but it will help a lot.
A question for you, maybe a soft challenge. If you're getting down to this level of granularity, wouldn't you want to build a new, because I noticed that this is based on the campaign, so it's set at the campaign level. So wouldn't you want a new ad group for each of the specific geo targets so you can customize other things?
Well, what's bad about this is your targeting is at campaign level. It won't work at ad group level. So as soon as you look at the locations, you're kind of stuck to campaign.
Sure. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, so in what I'm saying by ad group is like you mentioned earlier, I want to target Scottsdale specifically. Mm-hmm. So if we were going after, if I wanted to prioritize Scottsdale, wouldn't I want specific ads that only show to the Scottsdale people so I can say, hey, we're local, or.
Oh. Yeah, you can also do a different campaign to do that. If you wanted to target Scottsdale and say I want specific ads, you'll have to start a brand new campaign though, and sometimes that's good or bad. If you want to have the ability to have that ad copy say in Scottsdale, you'll want to run its own campaign. The bad part about it is you have to dedicate its own daily budget to it. And if you already have a larger campaign and it's already been working really, really well, and you're spending X amount of money per day, you have to think, well, how much traffic was I actually getting from that area? Subtract that from your daily ad spend, then give it to another campaign's daily ad spend. And when you sometimes have,
so it's difficult from like shared budgets and.
Yeah, or it's like you'll have to take $25 a day just to get at least one click. If your cost per click's $20, you'll have to take $25 a day, just put it in Scottsdale. And sometimes you actually can end up spending more. So if it is really important to you to have that ad copy, yep, that's something you'll absolutely have to do, and you're going to have to pay for it. Because you'll need at least $50 a day if you want at least 2 clicks or enough rank to show up if it's an average $25 or $20 cost per click. And if you think about if you're running, let's say $20 cost per click and $50 a day just to get at least 2 clicks, you're going to have to increase your monthly budget by $1,500 just to be able to change that ad copy.
And let's just have the same shared pool and then canvas the entire country, make some minor adjustments.
Yeah.
And then maybe if the adjustments prove concept, then you roll them out into their own campaign.
The problem, though, is if you have a shared budget and you're saying, I want Scottsdale to compete with the United States, you won't have any money left over for Scottsdale. That shared budget will just be, all that cookie jar will just be eaten up by United States so quickly that you'll probably have to have its own dedicated budget. Okay. But again, these are just kind of advanced techniques. And what's nice about this, too, is because you could do it, it's not showing up my map because I'm way too far out. There we go. You can see a little red dot there. The nice part about this too is you can really see, is what I'm doing actually helping me at all? If you're looking at the targeting too and saying I have this one spot that I want to pay a little bit more for, you can see, well, what more impressions and clicks and did the increased cost drive any more conversions at a lower cost per conversion, a better conversion rate? Maybe, maybe not. But what's nice about this is you can kind of test different areas and you can overlap. And just because you have, blue covering a specific area, you can layer on multiple things at that time as well. So
yeah, it's just like the audience overlays, but for geography, you can see how a specific geography is performing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
That's
and
really,
then if you,
this is brilliant. I see the vision. You know who it reminds me of is the shoe retailer we have, trying to be cryptic.
Yeah,
they have
16 locations.
Yeah,
shoe retailer.
They sell online, obviously, so they have e-com, so they go nationwide. But then they also have their brick and mortar.
Yeah,
and it would make a ton of sense to me as to why they'd want to prioritize the brick and mortar locations, even for their e-commerce sales, because I feel like there's like a really synergistic environment there.
Yeah, and what's nice too is if you say, hey, my e-commerce, or if I want to put an emphasis on my local traffic, it's already brand recognition. They're going to see that ad and be like, oh yeah, I know this place. It's right down the street. And so yeah, you can pay more to capitalize on that local brand awareness. So yeah, little ninja trick.
Yeah, this is really great, man. Well done.
Cool. Awesome.
And if you're watching and you have any questions, just I'm not even I'm gonna stop. Well, maybe this is the first video you've seen. Let me back up. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask those questions because we will answer them. And it'll actually be us. It's not like a VA somewhere that we have doing this. Like we're talking to you.
Yeah, and we're not as grumpy as what we may seem. I mean, this is just like the 15th straight day we're doing this. So if you haven't subscribed, we're very, very, very hurt. But if you're new here, welcome.
We're gonna cry ourselves to sleep. We should have done this at the end of the day. We should have. If we did it at the beginning of the day, we'd be like bright and chirpy. Both, you and I are both like grizzled and angry by the end.
I know, it's like, would you guys just stop asking questions now? Time to do a video. But what's cool about doing it at the end of the day is that you get all the questions throughout the day, and you're like, oh, this could be a great video for today.
Yeah.
So you get to learn all the things that you guys want at the end of the day.
Yeah, you're seeing us like in the trenches. This is the post-trench information. This came from a sales call we had today.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah,
that's cool. So you're actually seeing like real testimonials of what we deal with on a day-to-day basis, and you kind of get to see the smarts.
Wicked
smart. I like it. Wicked smart.
Cool. Like, comment, subscribe, share.